What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty. Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news. Go and subscribe, hang out with Buzzy and Goose. Tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Welcome to an exciting edition, not of the Bulls trade deadline, because nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm not spieling today. I don't care where you go. I don't care if you follow us. I don't. I'm here to talk to Goose and whoever wants to get in the comment section and throw things up here that I will throw on the screen because this is insane. The Bulls beat Memphis. If you cared about the game tonight, if you had an ounce care of it, Scottie Pippen Jr. looked all right. There were some cool things happening. Bulls were down to the C team of the Grizzlies for
Gregory Jackson, a 19-year-old, almost dropped 30 on us and gave us hell all game. So, that's inspiring.
You know what it was, though? It was competitive as fuck, wasn't it?
It was. We were in the game the whole entire time, even though we got our ass kicked for 3 quarters. But we did pull it out at the end because DeMar and Kobe both had extremely efficient games. Oh, and Drummond outplayed Vooch from the bench.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And guess what? Andre Drummond could help a team right now that's making a playoff push on the beautiful contract he's on the heaters he's on. And guess what Arturas Karnisovas did? Nothing. He didn't do anything. He didn't move anybody. And again, we expected this, but I'm still upset about it. I'm still upset about it, Goose. The incompetence that we witnessed today from Chicago Bulls is second to none. And I want to get into the rumored trade that was offered here from Bulls to the Warriors. They were talking about Alex Caruso, and the Bulls asked for Jonathan Kuminga.
Should have done that like 6 months ago.
Exactly. And we said on this fucking show, I told you that was gone about a month ago. This kid has been balling. He did it again tonight against Indiana. He's Steph Curry's number 2 right now. That is how he's performing on the Golden State Warriors. So then this is report. I've seen this out and I've heard it from a sauce.
From sauce.
You know what I'm saying?
All the sauce.
I've heard it from a sauce. That the fucking Warriors, that was legit. They came back about Moody and maybe a pick. And they said no. The Bulls said no. Arturas Karnisovas, and I'm not even convinced Mark Eversley exists. I think he might be a fucking figment of my imagination. So they say no to a young shooting guard in favor of the guy that will help the winning teams play basketball. Save your culture bullshit for me. You can have the greatest culture of all time. If you don't have talent, you're not going to fucking win. I cannot believe. I mean, then wait, one more. What
else did the sauces say? Tell me what the sauces say.
Not another sauce, but just what I saw online. They're going to extend DeMar DeRozan. That's what they want to do. There's love there. They're going to run this. They're going to run this back. Alonzo's going to be back. And it's
what money? We finally going to break
DeMar loves it here. He wants to take a hometown discount.
Really?
No, I don't know if he wants to do that, but that's probably what's going to happen. They were just gushing about each other.
I mean, I do think there is a world where DeMar enters free agency, hits the harsh reality that once again, despite the recent stretch of play, the All-Stars showing that he's still got it, mid-level exception and team-friendly stay with the Bulls might be the only thing you have. But as the Bulls, you're like the one team in the league that can't pitch that because you just paid Nikola Vucevic $20 million a year, and you just paid Zach LaVine $40 million a year. So how do you tell DeMar DeRozan, who's been the best basketball player on your team, even if he's at the very end of his career.
That's exactly what you say.
No.
You want a prominent role, a little bit more money than anybody else is probably willing to give you because you don't shoot threes. You stop the offense. You have to get it going. I love DeMar, but it's done. It's coming to an end. You can see it in his game now.
I mean, tonight's not the night to say that. I think he was 11 for 16 with 30 points. Obviously, it was against a broken Grizzlies team.
He played the C team of the Memphis Grizzlies.
So I'm just saying.
DeMar DeRozan's a very good player, Goose, but he's not good enough to get you to the playoffs.
We are on the exact same page. Extending DeMar DeRozan is our greatest fear, and it seems like it might have to be our only hope come the offseason, because we don't own our pick outright next year. So unless we are entirely trash, we are forfeiting our first-round pick to the Spurs.
And guess who comes out next year?
Cooper Flag.
And we're going to sit here and play these.
And you want to know why we don't own our first-round pick? Because of DeMar DeRozan. Not that that's his fault.
We got to keep him, just like we had to do to Vooch. We got to keep him because that fucking pick.
Because that pick. We don't know what a sunk cost is in this front office. It doesn't matter what's changed, and the writing is on the wall for everybody but these guys. I don't know if they simply just don't want to do their jobs, if they're scared to do their jobs, or if they're genuinely content and believe that this is competitiveness, because at this point, their mission statement to the fan base when they took over and came in and made all these aggressive moves with assets that they didn't suffer for and they didn't make decisions for, they blew them all. And now you got a core that probably could have been Kobe White and Lauri Markkanen and whatever other young pieces might have stuck around or been able to develop if you didn't go all in on a roster around a guy who wants out that's having season-ending foot surgery, so you couldn't trade him, and you still kept the entirety of the roster together. You have $70 million worth of money sitting on the bench that isn't going to play for you. You didn't use the $10 million exception that you were given, granted the fact that the one guy wasn't going to play, and they knew that he wasn't going to play all year, and you're trying to sell this as competitive. It is embarrassing. This is one of the biggest global brands in any sport in the entire world, and this is the product that we are being sold to year after year with a smile on our face, saying that teams don't get better at the deadline. I hate that I have to reference the New York Knicks right now, but the Knicks got better.
Right before we came on the air, we just talked about how I cannot believe they made a great trade today. They got Bogdanovich. They got Burks over there. I mean, my goodness, they got shooters. They got defenders. They're going to be fucking scary. And here we are.
They grabbed depth that is not only going to carry them through a period where they have injuries on their team to key players, but is going to be there for them in the playoffs. And the Bulls have to see them 3 times. So I hope AK and Mark get to watch that front row and experience what you're supposed to do with a roster when you're close and when you need to take your foot off the gas. Because there was deals on the table for Caruso, for Drummond, probably for DeMar. You could have moved all 3. You could have refocused and went into the offseason with cap space, maybe tanked for a year, with that pick being owed to the Spurs, Cooper Flag coming out, hit the reset.
Get your Dylan Harper's in that draft too.
Zach LaVine tried to build his value back up on a team that's trash, eat a year of that contract, a year and a half of that contract, and move him at the deadline the following year. But now I don't know how you bring DeMar back. Expect Zach to come back in all of this just to come back.
And bring Pat back. I mean, whatever he's expecting.
Yeah,
this is the thing. You have to I don't know what fixes this, and I'm not going to be like one of those people that scream boycott the Bulls or whatever. I'm just not one of those guys, but I will tell you this. You've known me for a very long time. I have gone to a Bulls game every year for probably the last, I shit you not, 25 years. I'm 32, probably the last 25 years besides when the COVID stuff went down. I still went to a game that season.
Yeah, we did.
But I have not gone this year.
We've gone to a game
every
year together.
Yeah, I have not gone to a game this year. I have no desire to go to a game this year, and it's not. I love to see the people I get along with and shit. It's nothing like that. But I'm not going to go pay $30 for your parking, $12 for your beer to keep watching this shit. They've completely crushed my soul as a Bulls fan because I'm usually an optimist. I was until I hit 30. Then I became cynical as fuck.
And the greatest issue for me here is the whole reason there was a need for a new front office, the whole reason this franchise was getting a facelift was because we had settled. And at least where we settled before, we settled with Jimmy Butler. I actually felt like we had a chance to compete and contend. And 3 years into this, I still feel like the three alphas was a better veteran experience than what we're getting out of this current team, at least in terms of being able to compete and giving me hope of maybe winning a first-round series. I don't think this team's going to make it out of the play-in again.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, that's just where we're at here. I want to pick some before we get into some trades of the day, if you're cool to talk about that too. I want to take some of those quotes because you kind of hinted at that about Arturas's comment. So elaborate on your thoughts on that about the. I want you to elaborate on the NBA trade deadline comments that Arturas made in the press conference. Basically, in a nutshell, guys, is what he said is not a lot of teams get better at the NBA trade deadline. So Goose, I know that it bothered you. I want to hear it.
The fact that he had the audacity to say that when his first and biggest move that he's made for this roster came at a trade deadline to aggressively try to make the team better. So unless he's looking back on his past decisions and reflecting and acknowledging that trading for Vucevic did not make the team better and make them a playoff team at the deadline when he made that deal, and maybe he's just got cold feet and he's scared to do that again, I don't know what that means, because every single contender made an important move at this deadline, whether it was Patrick Beverley to the Bucks, like even these smallest little moves, the teams that are legitimate contenders made moves. They improved their rosters on the margins in the smallest ways, and they're going to continue to do so in the buyout market. And I'm sure the Bulls will grab somebody. We laughed about it before we hopped on the show, especially with the pitch being to bring DeMar back. They'll probably go and find his buddy Kyle Lowry and bring his best friend here and go, hey, DeMar, look what we did for you. We gave you a chance to finish what you and Kyle started. We're competitive, remember? You and Kyle can live out that dream here.
I love how you just said that, because you just segued into my worst comment of the whole entire thing, besides the not getting better at the trade deadline thing. This team is very competitive in every game, and we have aspirations to compete in the playoffs. The bar for Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley is being competitive. And that is fucking absolute bullshit for Chicago Bulls fans. You should being competitive. That's a blanketed statement. Your fucking goal should be, we want to be winning games. We want to go deep into the playoffs. We want to compete for an NBA championship. That's what we want to do. Remaining competitive, that can mean so many different things. And that's why it pisses me off so bad.
Losing by 20 points every night.
Right. I mean, what is it, Goose? What does competitive mean?
It's been clear that competitive is 8 to 10 in the standings, the potential to play postseason basketball, whether that's a play-in or playoff game. And obviously, last year when the Bulls won a play-in game as a 10 seed, it was exciting. It was fun. And I did get my hopes up. And we did put up a good fight against a team that ended up going to the finals. But to float in this 8 to 10 range all season, to be there with the injuries that we have and just be content doing absolutely nothing makes zero sense. Every analyst out there was calling for the Bulls to do something. Every fan, for the most part, expected something. And if you were going to sell me competitiveness and tell me that this is the way and that we have a competitive team, why didn't you improve the roster? Why weren't you a buyer? You said it was a buyer's market. Are you just not enough of a buyer? Do you not have any assets left to buy things with?
Well, I mean, they were unwilling to part with an asset that they're overvaluing. He looked defeated. This guy has aged like a fucking president in office. You know what I'm saying? Because how stressful that job is. You see all of them look older within the 4. I mean, I know 4 years is a long time, but some of them start to look like skeletons after a while. That's what this guy's looking like, dude. He's looking like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's in over his head, apparently. And I mean, fuck. I can't believe I'm even saying that. I put a tweet out today and how angry I got. And like, I could be wrong. I could be eating my words in years from now. And again, there's a reason I don't work in the NBA, right? But I don't think I'm wrong here because I've been watching so long. But I put a fucking tweet out that, God, GARPAX is greater than AKME. And I am fucking blown away here, man. They have not made a trade, Goose, since August of 2021. Okay? August of 2021 is the last trade, and that was when you saw Derek Jones Jr. come here. It was a 3-team deal where you saw Lowry go to Cleveland. Okay.
That was the worst trade that he's made.
That is the last trade that man has made. Within that same offseason, there was a sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan. Within that same offseason, there was a sign and trade for Lonzo Ball. He traded the season prior at the deadline for Nikola Vucevic. Since then, he has done nothing. It's been over 1,000 days. Some shit like that. That's not true. How many years is that?
No,
that's about 3 years.
Right? Yeah, no. August 2020.
Yeah, okay, cool. Math. I got to do math. Got to count on my fingers. What's Shy Sports me? Yeah, but it's been that long, dude. So we're just now, he's tripling down on this. And I all the comments he made today are if I'm an owner of a team and I don't want a fucking PR nightmare and I know I suck anyway, because I'm at least a little bit tuned in, I'm firing him to like yesterday. He's done. He's gone.
Well, the other comment that was weird was we have the green light from ownership to do a full rebuild if we chose to do so.
But he chose to remain competitive. That was digging your own grave with a comment like that. With the fan base.
Yeah, I mean, you just blatantly said that, no, this is all on me. And maybe that's directed from ownership to be the message. We've known the front office for this team to very much just be a mouthpiece for ownership. And it would be on par with them to once again be content in this play-in zone where they are leading the league in attendance, despite putting out a mediocre product for 3 years in a row. And it is the darn near exact product that we had last year that most people wanted to move off of and start over. They still lead the league in attendance. People are coming to their games more than any other game in the league. And while that remains the case, why would they be aggressive? Why would they pay a luxury tax? Why would they actively try to be the team that they claim to be and being a competitive?
There's got to be some sort of like secret fucking agency that just laughs at us in Chicago and be like, yeah, it's got to be a big city because it's in the middle, but we're just going to fuck with them because it's cold. It sucks there all the time. Fuck it. I mean, it has to be.
I mean, and maybe that's why the attendance is so good, is because nobody can go outside during the winter, and basketball is a winter sport, so they've got that to their advantage too.
I was just looking at comments, just from people in the Twitter sphere, and looking at some of our Taurus's comments here, and how that man gets out of this and stays with this team past next year is going to be beyond me. If he brings them back and they fuck up and they miss a transcendent talent,
but at this point, he's put himself so far in a corner that he might not be able to even say the words continuity again. Can you bring Pat and DeMar back without?
Again, they have to discount because he doesn't want to get into the luxury tax. Someone asked him that tonight. I think maybe it was Joe.
I think it was Joe.
Yeah.
So without dumping Zach to a team that has the salary cap to eat the majority of his contract, where are you getting the money to bring DeMar back, to pay Patrick Williams? Especially if you think that your team's competitive and they're going to have success to end the season. If Pat plays better than he's played right now, you're paying him over $10 million.
It's a wild development. Everybody else got better. Or not everybody else, but the Bulls did not do anything to improve their chances to get a higher seed in the playoffs or to be competitive against the top 4 teams.
There was the rumor for Joe Harris, which cool. He would help change the shooting profile, but how many more guards do we need?
Would he though? Look what was going on with him in Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bad. Fucking like 33 fucking %. I'm like,
did he just start like sipping natty lights all day? Like what's?
I would if I lived in fucking Detroit.
Sure,
yeah, dude. Joe fucking Harris, man.
Yeah.
It's 2017 point, again. He's balling for the Nets, right? Or not 17, 2019. I don't even know what fucking year it is right now.
I mean, in 2017, he might have been like top 5 3-point shooters in the league. So that does resonate a little bit.
Here's some trades, man. One of my favorite trade of the day. And I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but it's my favorite trade if this is real. Pat Beverly was told by Daryl Morey that he was not going to be fucking traded, and he got traded to the Bucks. And I guess he said it on his podcast. He's
so,
yes.
The other thing with Pat Bev there was Robin Lopez got traded from the Bucks or bought out and ended up on the Kings. And he put out a tweet that was like, me and Patrick Beverley were teammates for an hour and a half. All the memories that I'm going to have.
He was reading a book in the stands after he got traded. Fucking Robin Lopez was, dude.
That's all he's doing. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
he's literally just a body on a team that they know can grab boards and beat somebody up if you have to. So, like, yeah, you can have a roster spot.
Low under the like radar trade for me today that I thought was real good. The Mavs traded for PJ Washington from Charlotte.
Washington and
Grant
Daniel
Williams
Gafford.
wasn't really working out there.
And they got Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, they did get Daniel Gafford too.
Yeah, they got PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford.
I forgot that. Yeah. I like Lively though for them, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and obviously Gafford and Lively are somewhat similar
right
types there. So Gafford probably a short-term stay there, but just the current better player to probably trust in a playoff run as opposed to a rookie who will obviously get similar opportunities down the road. But for now, I think Gafford is an upgrade for them. I know they were looking for a 4. I saw some interesting tweets about how Grant Williams should definitely not try to be a gun-ho guy in Charlotte, that it will lead to his demise even further. Found it interesting to see him being one of the biggest targets on the the free agent market this offseason and seemingly getting traded so quickly.
It didn't work out there, man.
No, not really at all.
Yeah, so it just didn't work out there for him. He looked lost constantly. Any game I watched Dallas and he was out there, he looked lost. The Nets got Thad Young and Dennis Schroeder. The Raptors got Spencer Dinwiddie, but he will be waived apparently. So they're waiving Dinwiddie.
That was a possibility. I saw Royce O'Neal got moved for like 3 seconds.
Alec Burks, we already talked about that one, and Bogdanović for Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, Ryan Archie-Diacono, 2 future second-round picks and cash considerations.
Yeah, well, the Bulls know a lot of those things: cash considerations, Ryan Archie-Diacono. They might have been able to know Quentin Grimes, but they passed on that Zach LaVine rumored deal about a year and a half ago.
I wanted Quentin Grimes badly. Did you see the Raptors and the Jazz deal? Like Kenny Olynyk going over to the Raptors, and the Jazz got Otto Porter Jr., Kara Lewis Jr., and a 2024 first-round pick. Kelly Olynyk fetched you a first-round pick.
I mean, that was weird to me, but I still don't really quite understand that one.
I didn't even see Kevin Knox got traded to the Jazz too.
Yeah, well, Kevin Knox just really isn't even a name anymore.
It was very
good for the Jazz. You know, they've got Chris Dunn and Kevin Knox now, 2 of like the biggest draft busts in the last decade.
Hey, Chris Dunn's carving out a fucking.
No, he is. I saw the post game of him and Lowry. Lowry saying first team all defense, and is somebody who has a Chris Dunn autographed Providence jersey. I'm all for it. I love Duke.
As someone who has an autographed Lowry Markkanen jersey hanging over there, this all-star shit with him. I know he got snubbed this year, but it's going to help my cause when I get rid of it.
Probably.
I'll probably never get rid of it. I'll have it till I die.
I'll have Lowry's autographed draft day ball too forever. Because
Buddy Hield got traded.
Because AKME decided that Zach LaVine was a better piece to build around than Lowry Markkanen.
Yeah, talking about them has been rough.
Yeah,
I mean, this was a rough.
Buddy Hield one blew my mind. Obviously, it was upsetting with the rumors of DeMar and all of that rumored to Philly. And then they make a move, but how did that make sense for Indy? Like, you're one of the highest scoring teams in the league. How does trading Buddy Hield make you a better team?
Well, they brought in Korkmaz and Dougie.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess you did get some more shooters. I don't know that you got better shooting. And
Buddy Hield has the potential to, like, still to this day to, like, take over at least one game a year.
Furkan Korkmaz finally got out of Philly. That might be the biggest story of the trade deadline.
It's been a long time. Oh, and the Spurs got Marcus Morris in that deal.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's about it, though. I mean, nothing else really crazy happened.
Without the Lakers being hot and heavy in the mix this trade deadline, it was kind of quiet, which is funny because it's like, how dead is the NBA trade deadline going to be once LeBron's gone? Like, once that mastermind puppet is gone, the guy that makes all the pieces move in this league, how quiet is it going to be at the deadline?
Probably not as well, you know, the deadline before LeBron was No, it wasn't, because he came out in 03. Deadline was like crazy for a long time, and then it kind of tamed itself out. Then got a little crazy again because everybody gets traded nowadays. But I don't know what'll happen when he leaves. I'm sure there'll be another superstar that comes along, like Anthony Edwards wanting out of Minnesota. That'll happen eventually. You know what I mean?
We still got Durant to play into his 40s and create super teams too. So there's that.
Right. Two more interesting tidbits of the day. Killian Hayes will be released by the Pistons. And who else got released? Oh, Victor Oladipo is also been released.
I remember when a lot of people wanted Killian Hayes number 4 with Pat's pick. I remember that.
I remember some people wanting to take Tyrese Halliburton.
I wasn't one of those people, so I can't pretend. I wish I could, because it would make me smart and cool, but no. Halliburton shot scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's very true. But there's a reason we don't work in the NBA.
This is true. This is true.
All right, I'm glad we got our venting out. You know, it's bullshit, but, you know, we move onward, Goose. We have to move onward, okay? So we're going to be cheering for Kobe to keep continuing this year or improving this year. Io, I want to see him to continue to improve. I'd like to see Pat come back if possible after he's reevaluated and see him get a little bit of run and go from there. I mean, this team is going to try to charge into the playoffs. So, that is the reality of it, so might as well just accept it and cheer for it because they're trying for it. They're not trying to tank.
Do you think the Bulls will be a buyout destination for a semi-big name? Even if they're like a big name like Kyle Lowry, like we mentioned, who isn't a big name anymore per se because
he's done.
But do the Bulls add a big name like that? Obviously, they had a roster spot before today started. You'd like to think that they'd probably fill that spot, or do they give OB a full roster spot?
Should give OB a full roster spot. No, they need a 4, dude.
Yeah, no, they definitely. I mean, we're playing Drummond and Vooch at the same time together because we have no 4s.
No, I mean, Torrey Craig, I mean, he's just, you know, he's a good complimentary player, but getting any extended minutes for him, you know what kind of team you got if he's getting extended minutes. You know, I don't know who's going to be out of the buyout market that'll be worth a fuck. You know, this Joe Harris thing.
They even want to come here. Why would you want to come to the team that's 10th in the East?
Well, because you get at least a little bit of a paycheck, you know, a little bit more money in your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, if nobody else is calling you, but I'm saying,
right. If other people are calling you, no. Why would you come here?
The bigger names. Like, why would you come to Chicago if you're ring chasing? That's usually what the buyout market's for. Right.
Yeah, no, it's super unfortunate, man. I don't know what the fuck they do this offseason, if anything, because it doesn't look like they'll do anything. Next game, Goose, is going to take place on Saturday, and that'll be against the Orlando Magic in Orlando.
That's a pretty big game. Aren't they the team ahead of us in the standings?
Yes, they are. They fell. Wait a minute. They didn't fall that bad. Yeah, they are. They did fall that bad. They're 28-24. The Bulls are 25-27. 2 games under 500 for the Bulls. Right in that super fucking sweet play-in bracket.
So what are the sauces telling you? How sauced are you going to be on Saturday? We doing a show Saturday?
Probably.
Let the people know now that the sauce is going to be strong, and we should probably.
What is Saturday? Is there anything going on?
No, other than the Bulls Magic game, no.
Oh, I'm getting up at I'm throwing a brisket in at like fucking 10 p.m.
Oh, so you're brisket and yard working. So maybe we should
at 10 p.m.
err on the side of maybe.
Yeah, err on the side of this is a possibility of not happening, but most likely will, because people are coming over for the Super Bowl. So I don't know if people are coming over on Saturday.
So all the more reason why we're probably not going to be available, because you're going to have people over.
No, on Sunday.
Okay, but I thought you said they're coming over like pregame Saturday.
No. I can't fucking pregame anymore, dude. I'm 32 years old. I can't do that.
Okay.
32 years old, 3 kids. Look at the bags under my eyes, man. They're fucking big as parachutes, dude.
I mean,
it's hard out here. I'm tired. You know what I mean? I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of watching this fucking team. My hobby pisses me off now.
This is supposed to be our escape. This is supposed to make us feel good, and it's done nothing but want to make us cry. So thank you, AKME.
Yeah, thanks, AKME. We'll see you on Saturday, guys. And if we don't, I would do the whole lead out, but I'm not gonna, because that's just the kind of day it was for everybody. Goose and I love you very much.
The Bulls front office doesn't work, so neither do we.
That's true. We might see you Saturday. Fuck you, AKME.